Come on, I bet you knew I couldn't keep away. Okay, now, I know I said that I wasn't going to do any more videos of a certain game called Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Well, I'm actually sticking to that. Despite appearances, this isn't the same game. It's actually the Game Boy Advance version. Which I'm going to be playing. You might have noticed the intro scene was kind of spruced up there. And, well, basically, as I said, this isn't the same game. It's got new stuff in it, new enough to be almost completely new, depending on how you play it. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So this is all new content here. First thing to mention is this difficulty setting makes absolutely no difference to what I'm going to be doing. Now, original mode here is basically the same game as the Super Nintendo version. What we're going to be doing is arrange mode, which is a different play style, level progression, something or other. And I'm going to be continuing my little challenge thing. So, yep, still with the graphical update here. I think this game was made as a sort of 10th anniversary thing, so they actually decided to put new stuff in it instead of just, I don't know, just being a straight port. And it's pretty good, to be honest. So here's our revamped map screen, which we'll be able to take a better look at later on. I'm going to be playing the first stage here to sort of familiarize us with the differences. Okay, now the first thing to be aware of is that playing on arrange mode, the difficulty is always set to professional. The difficulty setting on the options screen is only for the original mode. So, yeah, we've got to do this hard stuff again. As you can see by the rather fast zombies. There have been some graphical changes. Not necessarily improvements, I'm not really sure. The screen space is a little smaller than it used to be because being the Game Boy Advance and all. And our formerly green bronze armor has changed into a sort of greenish blue kind of color. Not sure why exactly that is, but so, for those who've forgotten these, the challenge rules involve picking up absolutely everything that drops and all that, so I've got to have all the weapons. I really don't know why I'm doing this, but true to form, I'm doing it badly. Don't worry though, this isn't going to be the main part of this video. I'm going to go straight on to the new content after I'm through with this stage, so yeah, and I've still got to get hit by the magicians and everything. I'm kind of not looking forward to doing this, actually, because, well, I mean, if you've watched my older videos, you'll have seen how much trouble I had. And to be perfectly honest, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to save state, but we've seen this level already. There's no reason to draw it out if I happen to screw up like I always do. And speaking of challenge conditions, I reserve the right to not get hit by the magicians or bear trap things if I feel that it's necessary, because this is going to be harder than before, mainly because unlike the original game, I don't know the arrange mode levels all that well, because yes, we have new levels in this game, and of course, since I don't know them as well, I'm going to find them more difficult. Not only that, but... oh, come on. In this game... going to these new levels is determined by which type of armor you're wearing at the end of the stage. And this is not a good thing, because you need to have bronze or higher to get to the new levels, which is what I'm going to be doing here. There's no point in showing the stuff we've already done again. I'm not going to do crazy stuff like having to keep trying until I can finish with the correct type of armor, because that's just going to be far too... we'd be looking at like 3-hour-long videos, most likely, and I'm not going to do that. I doubt anyone would want to watch that, because seriously. So what I'll be doing is I'll be finishing the stages normally, just surviving will be good enough. And then I will replay through the stages off screen. Yeah, I'm not going to take that because... I'll replay through the stages off screen so that I can get the right type of armor without having to do all the crazy stuff on video. Also, for some reason that money bag is in a different place compared to the original. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, I've got to replay through this again. You know what, I'm just gonna stop the recording and redo this, because seriously now. Okay, now it got back to where we were. Let's continue on. As you can see, well, I'm not sure actually, but the colour of the gold armour looks slightly different as well. It's like kind of more gold rather than just yellow. Here's something I forgot to show off. You can actually get the bracelet right from the beginning. And there's a reason for that, because in arrange mode, you only need to play through once. There's none of this play through twice nonsense going on. What the hell, come on. Yes, I know, I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is a an exception to my no save state rules. When it's a stage we've already seen before and finished and everything, I can use save states whenever I want. C, it's more like it. So from now on it's going to be the real stuff. Okay, so here's our map thing. We've got a choice of 3 stages. The blue ones on the bottom row are basically the original stages from the Super Nintendo version. Nothing's changed from the original. The top ones, which you need to have gold armor to select, are the very hard levels. They're revamped versions of the original stages. Enemies and treasure boxes and traps and stuff are in different places, but the level layout is still the same. And finally, there's the middle option, which requires you to have at least bronze armor to select, is completely new stuff. Well, I say completely new, but it's not exactly, as you'll see in a moment. What we have here is a remade version of a level from Ghouls and Ghosts, the arcade / Genesis / various other platform prequel to Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's not just a straight port either, because this is all redrawn and everything to fit the SGnG style. Okay, now because these levels are hard and all that, I'm going to be let's see. When there's a magician or a bear trap comes out of a chest, I have the right to not get hit by it if I so choose, because these levels are tough enough as they are already. I don't need more difficulty on top of that. And the axe is still as friggin' useless as ever. Unfortunately, I can't really say much about these stages because I have played the originals, but I don't remember them well enough to actually talk about things. So here we got some kind of creature. For some reason, those are normally called ant lions in anything that lives in a pit like that. Now, I nearly always die a lot here because of these platforms here and these weird flying things. See, these platforms collapse and you've got to jump onto them, and for some reason I always seem to land on the part that collapses, which usually dumps you straight into the pit that you can't do anything about, and it's generally a huge mess. Now, if I remember rightly, yeah, it's an extra large pit. That one was okay. The next one, usually, I don't remember it as well, so I end up falling a lot more. If you move very slightly like that, you can avoid it. Now, I'm pretty sure one of those in the middle there that I jumped over will fall. I nearly always forget that and end up just dying straight away, which is never a good thing. Okay, so now we've got more bouncing turtle things, which are even harder to avoid, and damn it, I can't shoot that one. Save me magic spell. Seriously, I'm gonna have to start using that more often. I always kind of forget it's there. And that sand really cuts down your movement. You can barely jump and your movement speed is halved. Something like that. I'm also probably missing a whole lot of chests all over the place because I don't know where they are, which doesn't help. And as usual, they tend to involve jumping in precarious places, which I don't like doing with these shells around. That jump can be tricky if you don't time it right. So now we're into the second part, and we've got flaming windmill things. I think this place looked a lot more hellish back in the original Ghouls and Ghosts. Like it was all burning red background and fire and stuff. And it kind of slows down a lot. Unfortunately, there's not really anything we can do about that. It's a GBA thing. Now, a lot of people complained about the slowdown in this game compared to the Super Nintendo version, which is kind of weird because in the original stages, the slowdown is mostly the same as in the original. Maybe slightly worse, but only very slightly. You wouldn't really notice it unless you were like looking for it specifically or something. So it's hardly the game-breaking thing that they say it is. And I mean, the slowdown seems kind of bad here, but it seems like it's just the frame rate that's going down and not the actual game speed. It still reacts normal timing and stuff. Okay, now we've got a long path with no enemies, so you know what that means. I'm saving a state there, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use it. But the bosses in this can be pretty tough compared to the original, by which I mean the Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Also, when you don't know their pattern, it's kind of like a murder by the numbers, as one such saying goes. I'm really not sure whether I should just continue from the save state or not. I'm gonna say not for now, because that would kind of trivialize a lot of things. This level isn't really that hard either, it's just slow, because for some reason these spinning windmill things make the game slow down all over the place. I think these large moving things count as large amounts of sprites because they're made of several different ones or something. But yeah, I'm gonna die a lot to the bosses in this because they're actually difficult in the arranged mode, as opposed to the original ones, which were like the easiest part of the entire game. This guy swoops kind of like a red armor. In fact, it kind of looks like a giant red armor too. And that's just so fast, I don't know what I'm supposed to... You can't really see that coming, and the guy's so big you can't sort of jump over him, at least not easily. And of course now I've got to put up with crummy weapons as well. Oh damn it. I'm kind of forgetting about my conditions here. I've got to pick up this damn bag up here. I don't know where the treasures are, so I can't get armor back easily. I mean, it seems like there should be more than 2 for the entire second part of the level, but... Okay, I admit the slowdown is kind of annoying, but this is I'm pretty sure this is the worst slowdown part of the entire game here, so it's only going to get better from here on. Oh, come on. What the hell? The guy is so big and his movement is so, I don't know, encompassing that it doesn't seem like there's any way to actually dodge that except by being lucky enough to guess it was coming. And I mean, of course there probably is a way, but it's not a way I've discovered. Also, I really don't know why I did that, considering that the axe is worse when powered up. Well, that solves that problem, doesn't it? I'm not sure of what the effect... the axe is just completely useless no matter how you look at it. How do continues work in this? I am just not going to play through the entire same part of the level over and over again. I've done it with my conditions, and that should be good enough for you lot, so screw it. I want these videos to be more interesting than just boring and repetitive. So if I die enough to have to use a continue, I'm loading a save state instead of continuing. That seems fair enough to me. And I still don't know what I'm supposed to do about this guy and his stupid diving. I'm guessing it's kind of like it targets where you are when he starts doing that stuff. So if you keep jumping, you can sort of fake him out, but it doesn't work, as you can see. Also, he used some completely new attack there. But whatever, he's dead. Of course, I can't actually continue from here, because if you don't have bronze armor, you can only go to the old stages, which is not what we want. But regardless, this is the end of the first video of this part of Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Game Boy Advance. I'll be back soon with Arranged Stage 3, which is just as fiery as the regular stage, as luck would have it. See you there, guys.